So recent investments in EMEA for you guys, new customer support centres, new London HQ. What impact is this having on sort of customers or employee attraction? What other plans are there? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I was at one of my recent companies, and we had an office in London. It was great, but it was really small, and you kind of felt people had to be there and play the game. I'm a firm believer. If you look at the office environment right now, you're seeing a lot in the press that Google have said I think 3 days a week, or Amazon said 3 days a week. JP Morgan are back kind of full time. I've got friends that are CEOs of big companies, like seriously FTSE 100 companies, and they're kind of waiting to see what happens. So I do think office culture is really important. We've got a really nice London HQ, but we actually didn't invest in boardroom. We didn't invest in desk space. We invested in meeting space. So we're holding a lot of events. A lot of our partners, the ones that are proper partners, that are using our office to run their events because we have a really nice location. So that's a big thing for me. I want the ability to host EBCs, executive briefings. I want the ability to have demo labs for customers. I want the ability to do training enablement. I want them to come to my office and make it feel like home. I called my wonderful assistant office manager the other day, and we had a load of partners in, and called her, how's it going? And she said, well, people are drinking beer at lunchtime. Well, that's a good indicator of success, then, isn't it? Maybe a slightly warped one, but everyone's relaxed and enjoying themselves, and all the donuts are gone. And I'm being in a farcical way, but I want an environment where people like coming to the office. So we've tried to build that. So that's important. In addition, I think any vendor's got to put customer and people first. Your own staff first. People are the lifeblood of your organisation, right? Without people, we're all screwed. Back to the whole, why would you go on board a company and fire everybody? They're the people that have got you to where they are. Maybe they haven't done the best job, but they've still got you to where you are.
So you would have made a good recruiter, Matt.
Well,
you
maybe.
like people, didn't you? You should have stayed in it.
Well,
you've missed your calling. You really have.
Also a pain, but there we go. But people first are really important. So we've invested heavily in support. So we've big operations in Cork now. How do we support customers? And I think that's really important.
What about the impact of changing from a licensing model to a SaaS subscription model?
It goes back to valuations. Gone are the days of hardware. Hardware, we were discussing this over lunch earlier on about, we talked about valuations and things like that. Hardware, people don't sell hardware now. So the thought of a perpetual license, right, doesn't exist anymore because people aren't buying a piece of tin and then depreciating it. It's all now software-based, cloud-based, virtualized-based. And people quite often want to scale up and down the usage. The only way you can do that is have a subscription-based software as a service, or fundamentally annual subscription. And that's the way the market's going. So then that drives bigger valuations. If I've got customers spending a lot of money each year with me, reoccurring and predictable, that's a good thing. Your car, do you own your car or do you lease it? Quite a lot of friends now are leasing cars because they don't want the asset at the end of the day. I might be paying more, but I haven't got the hassle. But more importantly, I can trade up and down anytime I want. And like in the car industry, I read the other day that one of the big manufacturers is saying, if you want a heated steering wheel, it's an extra that you can pay for subscription. So you might spend another £1 a month for your heated steering wheel in the winter, and you might turn it off in the summer. Wow. That kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So that's the way, we're no different. Software as a service, supply and demand, when you want something, you want to get it quickly is important. But yeah, ARR is a big thing. Every vendor now is ARR focused because perpetual's gone away. Now the big traditional customers hate that. Why am I paying for something every year? Kind of is what it is. So yeah.
And my last question, Matt, and I'm not saying you're going to be Mystic Meg, but over the next sort of 6 months, 12 months, you mentioned as we were walking upstairs, how do I find the market? And I said it's Q1 was quite a struggle. The vendors now are starting to move. What's your sort of foresight for the next 6 months? Where do you see the market going? Are you optimistic?
Yeah, really optimistic. I think we've been asked a couple of times now about financial security. I think a lot of the big traditional FTSE 100 companies are maybe a little bit scared of investing in a startup. Support, longevity, product fit. Are you going to get acquired? Are you going to disappear? Do we want to spend a year implementing you? So I think that's a bit of a worry for some organisations. I think the market definitely will pick up. I mean, we're in a bubble, right? You talk about recruitment. I could have gone from recruitment to be selling air conditioning or being a great car salesman. Would have been great. Sure, would have been really good at it. But we fell into this thing called cybersecurity, which is a bubble. What was it, $2 trillion market? I saw the other day, McKinsey think that cybersecurity market is still $2 trillion. 3,500 vendors, 18 pure play vendors in the cybersecurity market. There's a lot of revenue to go around. I think, go back to the profitability thing, I think organisations which are profitable, I look at my organisation, we made some changes a year ago in terms of product innovation, in terms of opening up an office in Cork, double downing in India for order management processing. So we've got our stuff in order. We're now profitable and growing, so we'll continue to invest. So I think we've got probably another 6 months tough ahead of us, but innovation's still happening. There's still a lot of new startups out there doing really good things. Like I say, I can talk about Wiz because I know Rob quite well. Fastest company ever, I think, to 100 million ARR in a ridiculously short period of time. Valued at some huge amount. Palo Alto, wish I never sold my stock. That's all I can say. 600 share price and then they split back down again. Who would have thought that Palo would be the biggest pure play vendor on the planet when it comes to cybersecurity? So customers are still spending. I think the market will pick up. So I think I'm not saying this is a recruitment pitch, but if you're looking for another job, I'd maybe stay where you are for a little while, because I think it's Q3, Q4, a lot of organisations will either realise they're in trouble and have to do something, or a lot of organisations are kind of ForeScout size, kind of mid to large vendor, will continue to invest in the right way. But I'm not a mystic Meg, but I'm optimistic. I'm not sitting there, like I say, worried about the industry. And there's a lot of jobs out there and there's a lot of really cool tech out there.
Yeah.
But the bad guys don't stop, right? New attack, you talk about ransomware. What's that about? It still happens.
Yeah.
So we still need to service our customers.
Absolutely. Matt, you've been a great guest. Thanks so much for your time.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Cheers.